Welcome back to the channel. Obviously there's been another update to Assetto Corsa EVO over the last couple of days, so I thought I'd jump in and see what's what. There's some new cars and obviously a couple of new tracks, but hopefully I'm going to do something a bit different from everybody else on YouTube, because I'm going to have a look at a couple of these new cars in the rain. That's something I wanted to do previously but just haven't got around to. So again, this is going to be another rambling, uncut video or unedited video. If you do like it or enjoy it, subscribe to the channel. I've published a test day vlog as well recently, which is up and published. So let's get going and see what's what. Just before I go in and choose a car, there was nothing in the update notes about physics, feedback, tire work, and things like that. So I'm not convinced we're going to see much improvement, or on the audio side of things as well. Yeah, you remember from my earlier video that I think the audio generally across the board is pretty terrible. But let's see. So the Toyota, I mentioned this in one of my earlier reviews. So this car I have actually driven in the past and said that it was underpowered. They brought in a better performing version here, or a higher performance version. So let's take that. Watkins Glen. Actually, why don't we try Paul Ricard? Let's go with that. Let's see. Everyone's favorite track. So I think the tyre selection is in here. Road, supercar, eco. Okay, so these are just road tyres. Let's see. Straight away, Bob the sound man needs to be fired. It just does nothing for me at all. The audio in this. Oh yeah, this is the main. Again, just straight away, first impressions. I mean, it's true when you're driving in the wet in real life. The way the tyres lose traction is very, very gradual, so you don't have big forces through the wheel when you're driving on a wet track like this. You saw from those first few corners that again the rear is just really instinctive. What's this? Right there, you can really feel that, but there's just no feel on the front at all. You know, you can still feel the tyres. I said this in one of my earlier videos that there's no graining, or there's no vibration that comes on and off as the fronts lose traction. Rear end is still pretty good, has to be said. I've got no feel through the front. I haven't got, there's a little bit of vibration coming in there, which would be about right. You know, if you start yanking the steering over and the fronts lose traction, that's, yeah, there's a little bit coming in there. Let me just have a look. So I haven't got the feedback right up. I haven't got the damping right up either. Got a little bit of additional road effects, a little bit of tyre slip, a little bit of ABS. So I'm not kind of, and I've only got 75% on the wheel. So I'm not kind of just saturating everything out to the max. That's a big one. So yeah, I don't really see where this is going. We'll get back in my favourite Porsche in the world in a minute, but I just don't see what the direction of this is at the moment. Let's see that. Tyres have warmed up a little bit, I think. Let's try a few more corners. There's a bit more coming in the front now. As I've said many times, do not look at my driving. So yeah, there's a bit of feel in the fronts when you start to really load up the lock, which is what happens. You're driving, you come into the corner, if you start to understeer and you continue turning the lock on, then you will get some feel of graining, and there is a bit of that. There is a little bit, but it's very, very, there's not. The fronts are doing something. The back is, as we saw in the earlier videos, is the weight transfer and the feel of the rear end is really excellent. Let's try this. This is the new 993, whatever that package is. I'm taking it. Let's see what this is like. Let's see what tyres this has. Wow. What are supercar tyres? So you can't choose wets then on this. It's not ideal, is it? God. I find these hands like pretty, it's like some burn victim. Like someone's been in a horrific car crash. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Let me turn up the audio bit of the engine, because Master volume, 100%. Engine, interior. I mean, these things are seriously... It'd be nice to have one of these. Can't feel much in the laser scan. Doesn't feel to be much detail on the surface. Yes, I overcooked that. Detail of the track surface. I think maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe they're missing a bit of the scan detail. I imagine they've got good scans of these. Sorted out on this, yeah. Change the brake license. Let's try Watkins Glen. Full circuit. Tyres. I think I went supercar tyres, didn't I? There's not a lot of detail on the surface, which on this track either, which is okay. You know, obviously that makes a big difference to how the grip is loading on and off. If you haven't got the bumps, it's just completely smooth. And it's those small. This isn't going to work. It's those small undulations in the road surface as well that transmit back through the tyres and into the steering. So if you haven't got, it just feels pretty flat. Completely missed the braking point there. Off the circuits. Surface detail. Pretty good. I'm just going to go and increase these road effects. I think I used to run those around 33 in ACC. Let's see if that makes any difference. Those things right up. Sure, you'd be getting that wheel spin in 5th gear at 230k. Yeah, you need to have the road fill up a bit, I think. Maybe around, depends on your wheel of course, but looks like you need to put a bit more of that in. Enhancements. So that's 30% more than you should have. Is that? That's what I want for that. Might as well do it every lap. I know what I'm doing. It's just not engaging. It's just not. Okay, so I would recommend putting in at least like 25%. It's not wowing me really. Again, I'm just not quite sure where they're going with this. Again, we've talked about how that Porsche Cup car is just amazing. What else is there here? I mean, these we tested at Brands in the Dry. Sorry, got lost in the menus there. Where is it? Honda 2000. So really, I think to summarize this, they brought again some new cars. They brought some new cars, some new tracks. The scans don't feel brilliant to me. Listen to the audio in this. Is this some kind of a joke? This is 2026. Okay, nothing to see here. I also have to say, I think there's a bit of a bug, because I had the handbrake come on and off automatically. I just turned it unloaded yesterday. Listen to this car. I mean, this is some of the worst audio I've ever heard in a sim. Just don't get it. I've got the cam noise. These engines make a lot of cam noise. Feel the tyres start to vibrate a little bit there when they... Turn the feedback up on the wheel now. It's 90%. Going to do with this car? What? This is what I don't understand. If they don't bring the modding back in, why are they wasting time on these kind of cars? What are people going to race them? They're going to drift them, maybe. So to recap, it's a bit of a rambling video, sorry about that. Again, the graphics and the effects are great. The audio's still terrible. And they haven't made any changes really to the... anything around physics or suspension or tyres. So really, there's not a lot to write home about. This feels okay. You have to give it some credit and be fair. It's not bad, but I just think overall, the fundamentals underneath the hood, pardon the pun, haven't changed. They've still got to find a way of getting some more feel through the, even if it's not totally, if you were to sit in the real car and have the feel maybe they have here, but this isn't a real car. You need the feedback in the sim through the wheel to be a little bit more than perhaps you have in real life. And it's not bad. This car, for example, is not bad. And I think fundamentally, again, keeping it positive, the overall feel of the heavy rain driving here is not bad. It does feel a lot smoother. The water kind of smooths the contact of the tyres on the road. The grip is very gradual, like you're seeing here. The car's obviously very sensitive to understeer if you're driving as badly as I am. So fundamentally, the approach to wet weather driving, that doesn't look great, but fundamentally, I think it's there for wet weather driving. Now, obviously, we're not looking at racing lines. They mentioned some things about dynamic track developments and things. Can't see any evidence of puddles and things forming on here. So I think we'll have to just keep an eye on that as we go through some racing. So there we go. Ramble over. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you did. And see you in the next one.